Hello, YouTube. Again. I am not typically not accustomed to having to be here this many times in one day. Excuse the noise. I'm going to put in my AirPods. Um, okay. This is a live stream that I was initially going to do on another platform, and I'm really grateful for being offered that opportunity to do it on that platform. And I was also going to have an accountant come in and try to help verify some of the claims that I'm going to make. But I really just want this to be over with, and so until that is the case, Rohan, I'm going to put you in time because you keep repeating yourself about nonsense, and I don't have time for that. Okay. If I know there's not very many people here because I didn't schedule this, and but I would like if there's someone, please, if you could just let me know by putting a 1 in the chat if my audio is okay, because I don't want to proceed if no one can hear well or if I sound choppy or anything like that. So if you could just, if someone could please just drop it. Okay, thank you so much for that. Um, okay, so the purpose of this live stream is to debunk lies from a content creator named Octavius Prime. This is a very dishonest, unethical individual. Hi, hello, so good to see you. Those of you, thank you for dropping down. I appreciate it, y'all. This individual made an entire live stream with my YouTube name, MGO, which are my initials, and the name of my organization, Advocacy Without Borders, in the title, and a picture of a 990 on, and then allegations of fraud and so forth in the thumbnail. I did not watch his 2 hour and 22 minute, I believe it was, live stream, and I don't intend to. However, he got on YouTube Cameras, who is a content creator that I follow, who does like a news breakdown in the morning, typically of the beef sector. He went on her live stream and he made several lives and about my organization. So those are the things I'm going to address today. Everything I'm saying can be backed up by credible sources, and I will give you those sources if you want to view them for yourself. So the first lie that I'm going to debunk is he mentioned, Octavius said, my organization, Advocacy Without Borders, only donates 0.05% of our earnings. Therefore, we should be investigated. He also used AI to say this. So, debunking that lie. Hey, thank you so much. I see y'all dropping down, and I really appreciate the support. So, the first thing I want to say is, and I could end the live stream right now after saying this thing, but I'm going to go ahead and address the other points too. My organization is not required to donate any of our grants or donations. He said we donate 0.05%. First of all, that's a lie. But second, we are not required to donate a single thing. The reason why is because my organization, as you can see on the IRS website, is a private operating foundation. A private operating foundation is directly involved in operating charitable projects and programs. Although they are allowed to make grants and give donations, that is not their primary purpose, and there is no requirement to do so. Because this individual, Octavius Prime, is an idiot, he doesn't know the proper things to ask AI for it to give him the correct answers. He mistakenly assumes that Advocacy Without Borders is a private non-operating foundation. And you see, a private non-operating foundation's primary purpose is to support charitable missions by making grants. They are required by law to make grants of a certain amount of their adjusted gross income or what have you. They are allowed to operate programs, but that isn't their primary purpose. Their primary purpose is to give grants. You can think of things such as the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation or other organizations like that. So if I was a private non-operating foundation, I would absolutely be in deep trouble with the IRS for not giving grants, but I am not required to give any grants because all of the activities that we do, all of the programs, all of the tasks, all of the different things that we are involved in give back to the communities through our charitable acts, all of those things far exceed the dollar amount of giving. We have my organization, I founded it as a volunteer organization in 2014. And for 7 years, I funded it as a volunteer organization out of my pocket, out of my job, and out of my husband's money for 7 years. We did not become a 501c3 with the government till 2021. However, as I will show in a moment, there are 16 pages worth of activities that of all of the things we did for the community. 16 pages for 2021 alone. There are 47 pages of activities that we did the entire year for 2022, 43 pages for 2023, and so on. I can go further. Additionally, if he knew how to read a 990 properly, parts 8A, which is on page 7 of the ProPublica website that Octavius Prime is so fond of, has the statement that lists all of the direct charitable activities that we engaged in. I will read a few of them for you. From the 2024 report, coordinating meaningful community engagement and multimodal knowledge and resource dissemination, researcher and clinician outreach, digital humanities, public pedagogy, community leadership efforts, expert and advisory support to commissions, task forces, participatory research, collaborator and investigator roles, diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility training for organizations, neurodiversity and intersectionality trainings for corporations, K through 12 schools, universities, nonprofits, hospitals, and employee resource groups, direct material and financial support to disabled individuals and their families facing crisis and or homelessness, limited support for organizations facing serving eligible populations. That's just 1 year. Let's read another one, shall we? Let's pull up another one. Educational seminars, panels, virtual symposia, collaborative participatory research, etc., etc., etc. All right, so let's go to the next point, shall we? The next point is to talk about the site where he got this information from in the first place, ProPublica. Octavius claimed that ProPublica is the authority that is over nonprofit organizations. As I mentioned earlier, and as I will say several times throughout this live stream, Octavius Prime is an idiot. Let me tell you what ProPublica is, and I have no problems with ProPublica. But you can go on it yourself. Again, everything I am saying here is literally public information, and I will tell you how to find it all. I will tell you how to find all the information on my organization on the IRS website, and for ProPublica, their website is propublica.org. I'll spell it PROPUBLICA.org. Now, ProPublica is not the authority over nonprofit organizations. That would be the IRS, the Internal Revenue Service in the United States. ProPublica is an independent nonprofit newsroom that produces investigative journalism. That's a quote, a direct quote from their website, from their About section. Now, I'm not knocking ProPublica. I love journalism. I love nonprofits. I run a nonprofit. And ProPublica does have an interest in nonprofits. So much so that they actually dedicate a portion of their website to sharing information about nonprofits. Specifically, they have a segment of their website that is called Nonprofit Explorer. It is a helpful summary tool, and I recommend anyone use it, but it is not infallible. I don't know if any of you have ever gone to look up a restaurant or something and you put it in Google or you put it on the search engine and they gave you a menu or some hours, but when you went to the actual website of the restaurant or you went to the place, it wasn't accurate. It's pulling from another source and it might not be dated. So this is specific information from the Nonprofit Explorer portion of ProPublica.org. Nonprofit.org pulls IRS e-file information. They have a team of exactly one staff person who does that work. He uses, of course, technology to help him. His name is Ben Getson. ProPublica also states explicitly on their website that it has Form 990 documents. However, Exact direct quote. They are only available for electronically filed documents. What that means, ladies, gentlemen, and other individuals, is that they can only pull electronically filed documents, like they said. It means they cannot show any data from 990 reports that are filed in any other way, like on paper with an accountant, like amendments. In other words, it is only capable of showing incomplete data. Specifically, the 990 reports that Octaluser showed were dated August 2024. Now, let me give a little backstory about my organization and the 990 reports. As I mentioned, I operated my organization. I founded it in 2024, and for 7 years, I founded it as a labor of love that I did on side of working my job, raising my kids, and being with my husband and other endeavors that we have. My footprint was growing in terms of writing, advocacy, and the community outreach and so forth. And I had numerous um, people reaching out to me saying they'd love to collaborate more, but I don't have an organization. It's just a volunteer thing I'm doing. I didn't have a taxpayer identification number. I wasn't a nonprofit. This was just something I chose to do on my own. Kind of like Miss Wanda. Miss Wanda and Rob. Miss Wanda has a hair salon, that's her business, but she does all her charitable stuff out of her own pocket. She doesn't have a nonprofit. She's just doing it, give money here, bring groceries, help people, just like I did. For 7 years, I did that, like what she's doing. But eventually, you are limited because people want to help you, but they can't. They can only help to a certain extent because they're not getting a tax deduction. They can't give you grants. They can't. So I had people reaching out to me, organizations reaching out to me saying, "Can you please file for a nonprofit status or collaborate with a nonprofit so that we can give you grants so that we can further work with you? We're limited to what we can do." So I decided to do so. I filed for my nonprofit status in 2021. In the late fall of 2022, I got notice from the IRS that they had approved it. So I was operating as a nonprofit and I was approved as one through my state, but I didn't get notification from the IRS until late 2022, after the tax year, after the 2021 and 2022 tax year, that they had approved me. They backdated it all the way back to the day I founded my organization. So it was authorized as one, but I was operating again on my own. So because of that, by the following year, because I hadn't filed taxes, because I didn't know I didn't get the approval until after the second year, they automatically revoke your status if you don't file. When I realized that, I immediately filed real quick. Now, I didn't have time to make an appointment with a bookkeeper or accountant or anything. I just went myself, found a website, hurried up and did the thing myself. I had never had a nonprofit before in my life. I had worked for them. I had worked for universities. I had done other things. I had never had a nonprofit. So my dumb behind made a mistake. And what my mistake was is I foolishly put on two of the reports in the line where it said compensation. I was like, oh, what I'm compensating toward the organization. I put the money I'm giving out of my pocket to the organization, $47,500 on the compensation line. But they meant, what is the organization compensating you, not what you're compensating to the organization. Because you see, when you have a private nonprofit, you can donate up to 30%. I wish I had ghetto CPA here, but I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, what I was told by the accountant that we used later when I had to fix my mess, you can donate up to 30% of your adjusted gross income. So when I did the math, I was like, oh, okay, I can donate $47,500 of my own money. That's a little. I think it's a little less than, like you can't write off on your own personal taxes, not the nonprofit, more than 30%. If you give more than 30%, that's fine, but you can't write it off. So I want to give, but I wanted my credit for it too, on my own taxes. So that's where the 47,500 came in, because that was about a little less than 30% of my own income, right? So when I submitted those taxes, and so, but then I also had to get forensic accounting and all this kind of stuff to get the grants that Octavius showed that I got. He said donations. They're not donations, dummy. They were grants that I got the following year, 2 years. So when they pulled all of that, they were like, this doesn't make sense. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I went to an accountant, they fixed it. They immediately did an amendment and corrected it. And the corrected 990s that showed that my organization pays me $0, that I get zero compensation, because again, I don't take the salary of me being the president of my organization. I'm the principal operator and founder, but my work as the president, I don't take a salary. I pour that money right back into the organization. So all of the credible, up-to-date 990s, which are not on ProPublica, because it says on its website, it gives a disclaimer that it cannot show that kind of information, are all on the IRS website to this day. Had Octavius Prime been smart enough to simply go to the IRS and search, he would have seen that, and he wouldn't have made a fool of himself online the other day. Because and I almost didn't do this live because of the fact that I almost wanted him to make the IRS report. Because let me tell you something. My aunt, one of my aunts retired from the IRS, and she told me a story once that was hilarious about somebody who called in and made a report against someone, a complaint against someone who hadn't filed their state taxes. The only thing was that person didn't live in a state that had state taxes. So the IRS gets stuff from fools all the time, and they laugh about it when they get it. So I almost wanted him to do that because it would be comic relief for the IRS person for him to say, she's only donating 0.5% of her money when I'm not supposed to donate a damn cent. But I decided not to do that. So anyway, let's go back to ProPublica, right? ProPublica. And I'm going to actually use, even though the information on ProPublica is inaccurate. Now, the one for 2024 is accurate, but the ones on there for 2023, 2022, and 2021 are not. The accurate ones are on the IRS website. Go to the IRS website, go to their charity lookup. You can look up any organization, not just mine. You do your due diligence. Check out any nonprofit that you know of. There are millions of them. Well, that's a lie. I don't think there's millions. There are definitely thousands of them in this country. There's tons of them. Put in the name of the organization, the city, the state, or if you don't know the city and state, you can put in the name. It'll usually find it. You can see their employee identification number. You can see when they obtained their approval. You can see all of the 990s. You can see all of that. You know what I mean? So look for yourself, and you can confirm what I'm saying. Now, the next lie he said is that my organization has no expenses. All they do is pay me. Now we've already debunked the lie that I take $47,500. Let me tell you this. I'm not trying to be mean, but I have a doctorate. If I'm going to take a salary, oh baby, I'm not taking no $47,500 salary. I got paid that type of stuff when I was in my 20s, when I only had one degree. People who don't have a degree make that. So if I'm going to pay myself, if my organization ever gets big enough grants where I can take a salary, oh, trust, I'm going to take what I'm going, they're going to pay me like I weigh. You know what I mean? I'm going to get real money. I don't work for less than six figures. But anyway, he says we have no expenses. Part 1, line 26. Again, we can use the IRS 990, so let's go ahead and use the ProPublica ones he's so fond of. Part 1, line 26 of the 990 indicates $63,424 of expenses in 2024. It also, that same line has my expenses in 2023, and 2022, but I have no expenses, right? That's funny. That's interesting. Let's go to your next line. I have no employees. The 990, again, ProPublica is such a credible source, right, Octo? ProPublica, part 1, line 14 of the 990 that's on ProPublica states employee salary expenses for 2024, 2023, and 2022. And my employees would be really fascinated to know that they don't exist. Next, let's go to your next lie, shall we? Your next lie is that we have no they paid me $47,000. I already talked about that, but I'm gonna debunk that some more. Please go to the accurate 990s. By the way, in addition to being on the IRS website, they're on my public website. Since he already doxed my organization, which I don't have a problem with it. I had mentioned the name of it too on my YouTube page. My organization that I'm proud of, my baby, is Advocacy Without Borders, where we're encouraging all people to make a difference, regardless of their differences. That's what we do in my organization. Bye, Golden. Thank you so much for coming. And so I'm not sure what's going on in the chat because I'm not looking at it, but thank you, everyone. Anyone who's leaving, you're welcome to catch the replay if you'd like to. But the accurate 990s, part 7, line 1, section C, all list the compensation of all officers. You will see I am the president of and my compensation is 0. You will see that for each and every year. It is a requirement for all nonprofits to make all of this detail that I'm giving you available for public inspection. It was required from the day that I filed for my status. So not only is it on my website, you can go to advocacywithoutborders.org and go to a section. There's a drop down. There's literally says, I think, request for public inspection or whatever. I have all of these documents on there. I also have annual reports showing all of the work that we do, but it's also on the IRS website. Not only that, at my office, my staff all know if someone walks in off the street with an ID, a valid ID, and they say, I demand to see the 990s for the last 3 years, My organization has to show them. We have a folder, a binder ready for anyone if they ever walk in and say they want to do it. I'm not talking about IRS inspectors. I'm talking about Joe Blow, anybody. We cannot reject it. Let's say somebody says, I can't come there. You got to send it to me. If they send us a stamped envelope and printing fees, we have to mail it to them by a certain amount of time. That's all required. So I have nothing to hide. But yeah, let's go to the next lie, shall we? He lied and said that my organization in 2024 spent $13,000 on Vaughn. That's what he said. For those of you who don't know Vaughn, see, Octavius Prime thinks everybody is like him and his sugar mama, Kiki. See, Kiki, the formerly morbidly obese, now just obese drunk, multiply married, mentally ill woman that he's dating, got him off the internet. He catfished her with pictures of how he used to look. She had no idea he was like 100 to 150 pounds heavier than that and broke with no job. But she picked herself a man off the internet like Build-A-Bear and built him, bought him some clothes, took him on vacations. The 40-something-year-olds finally got themselves a passport, finally traveling for places and think they got a life, right? But anyway, he thinks everybody's like him, that a woman has to take care of them. See, my mother taught me very young that if a man can't take care of you, he's not the man for you. My husband works. There have been years that I didn't work at all because I have special needs children. You like to call me and my children the R word. Again, as I've said it before, I qualify, and not I qualify, I'm a card carrying member of Mensa, top 1% of IQ, far from, as you say, retarded. But the word retarded doesn't exist anymore. You would know that if you knew anything about the ICD or the DSM 5. The proper term is intellectual disability. That's referring to people who have an IQ of 70 or below. And they're still people too and should be respected. But being autistic does not mean that you are retarded, which is, again, the word is intellectually disabled. Now, you can be autistic and intellectually disabled, and you still have work. But autistic is a developmental disability. It's a different type of neurology. It is not the same as being the R word. You asked your AI that, and because, again, you don't know how to make proper AI prompts, you get bad information. My husband works in IT. He knows real technology, not the little BS that you do online. Octo loser. Garbage in, garbage out. But anyway, you said I spent, so again, Vaughn is one of the many people. Let me tell y'all something. The only reason anyone knows I helped Vaughn, I didn't come say it. Vaughn was gracious enough and appreciative. He mentioned it on his own live stream some time ago. So, maybe 2024, maybe 25. I don't know when he said it. He also mentioned to Marcus, who mentioned it. That's how y'all know about it. I have helped many people. That's what I do. That's what nonprofits do. And I help people, and most of them are female. But yes, I'll help males. I don't care if what a person's gender is, because y'all are obsessed with Vaughn. Yes, he's attractive, but I got a man. I'm married. Vaughn and my husband know each other. I don't have to sleep with somebody just because I'm helping them. See, that's you having to give your peen to Kiki so you can go on vacations. I ain't got to do that for Vaughn. All Vaughn has to do is exist, and he gets help from my organization, along with the female single people, the single mothers that I help, and others. But again, since I spent $13,000 on Vaughn, let's see, part 14 of the 990. That's on that website you love so much, ProPublica.org. That's the grant and contributions paid during the year. It lists exactly how every dime of that $13,000 that we gave was spent. And we gave it to two public charities, two non-charitable organizations that serve the community, and four individuals. Funds paid directly on those families' behalf. Vaughn is mentioned there. His initials are there. Far from $13,000. I didn't even meet Vaughn until I think September or October 2024. The list of all of my activities is on the 990. That's on right there on that page, and on the IRS website. So I don't know how I could have spent. Vaughn must be balling if I spent $13,000 on him in 3 months. Um, we kind of spent the money throughout the year doing different things. As I mentioned, it's right there on the website. You also mentioned that Octavius Prime, that I was flying back and forth to see Vaughn and to get him and his children and this and the other. My travel expenses are also on that 990. Did you see that? Did you notice that? Because it's a required, line. When you have an organization, you would know this. That it shows I only spent $2,900 in travel expenses for the entire year. Maybe you don't know me. See, you and your girlfriend pretends to be bougie, but y'all are trash. Y'all don't know nothing. Hello? Shoot. Oh, y'all can hello? Can anyone hear me now? Oh, y'all can anyone hear me now? Okay, thank you, God. It's working now. All right. So, sorry about that. Again, I got a phone call. Um, when I fly, I've never flown on a real private jet. Let me make that clear. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie like I'm balling. And I also wouldn't spend that kind of money for the what it does to the environment. But I do like semi-private, right? So I don't see how I could be flying back and forth. Vaughn got 2 kids, and his other one of his other children was also there with him for a while, right? I don't see how oh my god, what is wrong with this thing? I don't see how I could, effectively fly, um, back and forth numerous times to Atlanta and stay in hotel and feed myself and this other person for $2,900. That sounds ridiculous. You sound like an idiot saying that. Oh my god. Sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm really hoping y'all can hear me. I'm just having major issues with my thing today. But anyway, what else was there said? I'm hoping y'all can hear me. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish because I can't tell if you can or not. But he also alleged that I'm Nigerian born. Now I am Nigerian, partially. I'm both Nigerian. Oh my God. I am Nigerian as well as Cabo Verdeano, but I'm not Nigerian born. I'm American born, born right here in the United States. I don't know if you were what type of xenophobic thing you were trying to say by that, but even if I was Nigerian born, if I had the proper legal status in this country, I could still create a nonprofit. So I don't know what that was supposed to be about, but that doesn't matter, bruh. You also said that I was trying to steal Vaughn's children or whatever, whatever. The same lines that your girlfriend tried to say. Oh, and let's get at this. You said I would be calling you all the time, calling you, crying, snotting. Octavius, have you forgotten that there is a community wall post where not only do I outline, but also link to a Google folder that has 88 screenshots of every single interaction you and I have ever had, sir? Now, maybe that's the lie you told your stupid girlfriend, and maybe that's why she went off on me September 2025. Maybe you told her, I've been sending you all this money. I wanted you. I'll be crying. Ninja, what would I ever cry about to you? The one phone call that I made to you, other than calling you back when it got hung up, the one phone call I made to you, the screenshot clearly shows that it didn't even last a minute because I let it ring once and I hung the hell up because I was like, screw this. What do I need to talk to him for? It shows it. You talking about snotting and tears? Ninja, no, there was never snotting and tears. There's never anything about you, her, or you two that would make me cry. Now, what happened is one time when you were calling me, talking about how your son is from a married woman, you know what I mean? The son you didn't raise, that son, that she didn't know about because she thought it was her husband's, because I guess she just wanted to sneak dick with a broke dude. Or when you were telling about all the women you were dating outside of Kiki. Now, I laughed one time. Maybe laughter sounds like tears. So maybe that sounded like I was crying. Maybe that's where you got that from if you weren't just outline right lying. But ain't nothing about you that could ever make me cry. So you're trying to take down and all my adult life since I was a teenager, I have been serving the community. I have been putting my heart and soul into helping people. I'm an advocate. I was born one. That's what I do. And I will never, ever stop doing it because of the likes of you. So, anyone who chooses to believe you, you had over 1,000 views on your stupid video where you looked like an idiot. I didn't watch it, but people told me they gave me snippets. But you look stupid on on Jordan Lemon's panel. You look stupid on YouTube Camera's panel. Everything is debunked, can be easily debunked. Ghetto CPA looked at the information, looked at all the 990s, and attested to the fact that the charitable acts, the in kind, far exceeds its value. 100% of everything that I do and my staff do for Advocacy Without Borders goes directly into the community. Ain't no fraud here. You talk about the executive order that Donald Trump signed. I was on a federal advisory committee directly underneath the Secretary of Health who reports to the president during the whole first year of his presidency, sir. I didn't leave that position until December 2025. If you knew anything, the very, very deep forensic disclosures, financial and ethical disclosures, not just me, but my spouse had to do. And any child you have that's over 18, if they live in your house, has to do to serve in those roles. And they do them every single year. Would have disqualified me immediately if I was doing any fraud, like you say. Furthermore, the IRS is so enamored with me that they've actually contracted with me to do a training with some of their employees. I do trainings for organizations, like 23andMe, like Google, like JP Morgan Chase, like big organizations, like Stanford University, Cambridge University, Harvard, Yale, stuff like that. That's what I do. I don't play around all day on AI and YouTube, strike people and think that I'm somebody. You think you're famous. You say somebody's clout chasing you, talk about how many subscribers I have. I'm not a content creator. I'm just a channel holder. But in my real life, you would never be able to stand next to me. And you would never be able to enter the circles I am in every day. You are a joke. And I felt sorry for you. And that is why I wanted to contract with you to help a broke brother get some money. But I'm going to say this: go to the IRS website or go to my website, advocacywithoutborders.org. There's like a home tab. I think there's an about tab or something like that. Scroll down, um, request for public inspection or something like that. I'm not sure what it's called. Let me try to see. I'll actually go online myself. Let's see. Advocacywithoutborders.org. You can see the annual reports. I'm sorry, you go to About Us, hit the About Us tab. Down at the bottom, fifth from the bottom, records for public inspection is there. At the very bottom, sixth, annual reports. Review them all. Literally stuff downloaded from the IRS website. Or again, go to the IRS website, type in the name of the organization, and view it all yourself. You don't have to take my word for it. See, I tell the truth. I'm not like Octavius. So I don't think there's anything else he said that's worth debunking, but you're an idiot. You're hilarious. Make that report if you want to so the IRS can laugh. And if you want, I'll give you a name of who to send it to, since I'm speaking for them in a couple of months. Do that, bruh. I am so tired of these losers who like to attack women. Just because you got busted, because you were lying to everybody and saying, I'll be calling you, I'll be calling you, I'll be sending you money. Do you know what it's sending somebody $150 for their birthday? So my baby's birthday was the other day. We just spent $150 just buying his meal. What's $150? You're bragging to that. That thinks that means so you think I want you, and then you're saying I don't send money to women. I cash app more women than I do men, but I'm gonna stop because I'm tired. I'm tired of this BS between you, Octavius, and Vibes Queen, and all this foolishness. You know what I mean? Of these people. I'm so done with the street sector, and I'm so done with all of this. I'm gonna chill. Actually took today off. That's why I'm here. That's why I've been making all these lives. I decided yesterday. I messaged my staff that I was taking today off so I could deal with this and then have the rest of my day to just chill. But tomorrow I'm washing my hands. I've said that before and I haven't done it, and I apologize, y'all. I'm not trying to be a person who doesn't, keep my word. But when it comes to something that could impact my organization, I have to speak up because that's my baby. I love it. So again, report me. Everything is on the up and up. All of our documents, all of our receipts, all of our everything. Again, it is a requirement for every single nonprofit, including my own, that this information be public. So do as you wish, Octo Tits. I don't effing care. You have been popped again. You are a liar. The truth is not in you. And you could never do what I do if you lived 10 lifetimes. Now, I thank you so much, everyone. I'm so sorry I have not been reading the chat. I'm just going to try to go quickly and just greet y'all. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Troy. Thank you, Open. Thank you, Black Diamond. Terrific. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you, Dana Copper. LG Glow. Thank you so much, Dana. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Black Savage. Thank you, Capri. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Warrior. Thank you, Golden. Thank you so much. Let me see who else I need to greet. I just want to be respectful of everyone who's taken their time to be here for this. I'm truly appreciative of all of it. Let's see what else. Room Shaker, thank you so much. So else. Y2C, thank you. And if I missed anybody, I really apologize. I think when I got the phone call, my phone froze or whatever the freak it did. I think I lost some of the chat, but you are welcome. In fact, I'm going to ask you because I have a small channel. So I was originally supposed to do this on Ken's channel, and Ken, thank you so much for making yourself available for this. And I appreciate it more than you know. But I can't. Ghetto's been busy. I know he reviewed my information, and I know he was going to back me up on the activities and the data and so forth. But he's been busy, and I don't know when he's going to be available. And I just want this over with. I'm just so tired. Every time I wake up, somebody's lying on me online, and I just wanted to be done with it. Yeah, Evan said it. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. I just wanted to be done with this. I'm just so tired of it. I'm just really tired. So this is no. I know that you offered yourself as a friend, and I'm grateful for that. So this isn't like, oh, I don't want to do it on your channel or anything like that. In fact, I hope if anyone still has interest, I don't know that if Ghetto will still want to go and break down the documents and do it from a CPA perspective, because I can just do it from me as a person. That if anyone wants to watch that on your, if you do it on your channel, I give my permission. I'm totally cool with it. But I just had to be. This had to be over. I had to be done with it. So anyone, if you want to share this, especially those of you in the beef sector, because that's where these lies were told. I know I'm in the street sector, and so a lot of street sector folks heard about it, and I truly appreciate it. Anyone in any sector, black sector, street sector, mommy sector, whatever, if you want to share this so the truth can come out, because he put that, one thing I'll give him, he does know he uses AI for search engine optimization. That's why he gets a lot of views. People say he buys views, maybe he does, I don't know. I don't, but he does get, on paper, on numbers, a lot of views, and on his different things. And he put my YouTube name and the name of my organization and all this kind of stuff on in his title, in his thumbnail, in his description, and in the video itself. So 1,000 something people, everybody doesn't know he's a big funky loser and a liar. They may think he's a credible person, a decent person telling the truth. And that could hurt the families that I hurt. See, because I could shut my organization down right now. I've got a job. He says I'm unemployed. I work at a university. My boss would be really fascinated to know that I'm unemployed when I'm a principal investigator on several research trials. That's news to us that I'm unemployed. I'm sorry. Oh, I remembered another lie. He said I'm using nonprofit funds to send cash apps. Sorry, it's hilarious. He said I'm using nonprofit funds to send cash apps to YouTube content creators. That if that is not evidence of a broke mindset, I've never heard of one. Dude, ever heard of spending money? My man's here, baby. I can go do whatever freak I want. If I want to go buy a coffee, if I want to go get a massage, get my nails done, get my eyebrows arched, whatever the freak I want to do. If I want to spend that money and shoot a cash app to a person to drop somebody or to tip them for the show, you think I'm so broke that I got to take money out of my nonprofit organization to send a cash app? I ain't got $100. I ain't got $50. How broke do you think I am? A teenager could do that. You are such a loser. But just so that it's clear, no, I have never, ever used my nonprofit funds for YouTube shenanigans. Now, I've used my nonprofit funds for things related to YouTube, like if someone's doing like if someone is doing an educational live stream about something, I can tip them for that. You know what I mean? Or if it's or buying food or whatever. So it's not that I haven't, but anyone who knows me, who's gotten any cash apps from me before, I have a nonprofit cash app and a nonprofit Venmo and a nonprofit PayPal and a nonprofit Zelle and so forth. And then on my personal PayPal, Zelle, Cash App. Why would I need to use the nonprofit one to drop somebody down? How stupid and how low class would I need to be? The first rule of any business, don't commingle your business funds and your personal funds. I don't even bank at the same bank where not Advocacy Without Borders, where we do our business. My personal bank is not even at the same bank at all, even though you're allowed to. God, what an idiot. But anyway, please share this with whoever might be interested. Share it on your wall or pop it off or refer to it if anyone wants to know if I'm whatever, whatever. And just to debunk some stuff that was said on YTC's channel yesterday by Octavius and China White, I'm not quote unquote fucking with Octavius. I was minding my own business. All the stuff that they did to me was in September 2025, specifically September 26, 2025. When the day before Mother's Day, in May 2026, that Octavius came fucking with me on Lemon's panel, I made a community wall post to defend myself when he lied and said I'd be calling him and want to be with him. Left it alone, but then he came lying again. So then I got on the panel to defend myself. And then from there, I've done so. I'm not trying to start a storyline. I'm not trying to start a channel. I have a channel. You know what I mean? I just want to be left alone. That's it. I just want to be, again, nobody has to like me. Folks can hate me, think I'm annoying, whatever. Just don't lie. That's all I ask. I'm not on here begging for friends. I got friends in real life. I'm well loved. I'm not turning away, anyone who's kind or whatever. I've met a lot of people here are cool people, everything like I'm not against that. But I don't need that. I don't need to go around. Am I pretty? Am I pretty? I'm wearing a red bra online. And flirting with every man I meet. I don't need to go buy friends. I don't need to do anything like that. I'm good. I'm on here just being me. But again, the lying has to stop. But because I realize, and thank you to the many people especially who have been telling me, hey, leave it alone, MGL, you're above this. These people aren't worth your time. People are going to believe, but anyway, they're stupid. Y'all are all right. You are 100% right. Everybody who has said that, thank you. You are right. And I'm going to try my damnedest. I have a very kind of it's hard for me to let stuff go, you know what I mean? Sometimes injustice, right? But I'm gonna try to just close my eyes and ears to this foolishness. Because if now people know that, oh, lying's a trigger, let me just keep lying. Let's just keep lying. Lie to you, you're gonna be lying to yourself. I'm not gonna listen. I don't care. As long as it's not gonna harm the people that I love or my life, then you're just lying just to say, just to lie. And anyone who believes you, that's their problem. So I have said my truth now. It's done. It's over. 990 gate or nonprofit gate or whatever gate is over. I'm gonna go have lunch because again, I took the day off. So I'm gonna go chill and do something enjoyable with the rest of my day. And I'm taking a YouTube break as far as like panels and all that kind of crap. I'm just tired. This is stupid and annoying. But please share this with anyone so that we can, again, please, IRS website, charity, nonprofit charity lookup, Advocacy Without Borders, put in my EIN or the name and look up all this stuff. AdvocacyWithoutBorders.org, go to the website, look at all this stuff. And again, if you want to go to ProPublica.org to read about how they cannot pull anything but electronic data, you can see that too. Octavius is a piece of shit, lying idiot. Bye bye.